What has allowed you guys? What allowed you guys to play so well today, particularly against the run and rushing the passer?
I think it's a case of having a good scheme, having a good week of practice, and guys are winning their one-on-ones today. We're really playing well off each other, feeding off each other, and playing with a lot of energy and high effort today. And I think that really showed in the first half.
Are there any examples of coordinated rushes or playing well off each other that spring to mind for you?
You can look at Montez's first say. I mean, he made an inside move around me. Tackle came down. He was able to follow through and just playing off each other. None of that was coordinated. We just rushing, and it just happened the way it happened. So, I mean, when I have a good rush, it makes Payne and Sweat's job easier and vice versa.
Obviously, you and Duron have had really good stretches in your career, but it seemed like this may be combined the best you guys have played together. Do you concur with that? And if so, why do you think that is?
I think so. I mean, I think really Duron is hitting his own stride, and he's really elevated his game to a high level and has really been able to help me play better. You know, seeing him dominate week in and week out all year is making me rise my game to his level, So he's played phenomenal. And, hey, I got to match his energy every week.
And, there's league-wide, there's this general idea of the defensive ends, edge rushers maybe getting more attention than inside tackles. It seems like that's switching a little bit, but with you guys in particular, that definitely seems like it's the case. Do you kind of see that for you guys, that's whatever that perception is of ends being more valuable is not the case with you guys?
To be honest, we really don't worry too much about perception. As a defensive line, we know what we want to do week in and week out, and we're going to have fun and enjoy each other, and we're going to work our balls off every day, and, we have goals that we're going to work towards.
What did it mean to that first drive, Kendall getting the pick six?
To see your DBs come out and start the game like that, it's going to be a good game. Especially with a younger quarterback, for him to throw a pick six on the second or third play of the game, we know that was going to affect him a little bit, probably hold the ball a little bit longer than he was naturally going to. So I think K. Fool and the defensive backs had a phenomenal game and allowed us to, put up some of the numbers we did. I mean, all in all, the defense played phenomenal. I wish we would finish better. To get to where we want to get to, we got to finish games a little bit better than that. And we understand that. It's harder to learn that lesson when you win because you're excited. But, that's just where the maturity factor comes in. We got to understand that there's things we got to improve, and, we're going to do that moving forward.
Ron said he was happy to see the younger guys, celebrating the way they did after the Eagles game. Some of you old guys are a little bit more muted, but he wanted to see guys act like they've been there before. Do you like how they respond? Did you see how guys responded during the week that gave you confidence that you guys were going to play the way you would?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, the hardest thing coming into the league was coming from Alabama. Because in Alabama, you just didn't really have fun unless you won. Like, the guys at Alabama right now, they're not having fun. Their season is done. And that's just unfortunate about how things are. Like, it's national championship or bust. And when you win, you move on to the next one. So when I first got into the league, it was kind of hard for me to kind of let loose a little bit, being under Coach Saban for 4 years. And I just had to learn that guys celebrate in different ways, you know what I mean? Some guys are more outgoing than I am, and, that's okay. At the end of the day, as long as you show up to play week in and week out, that's what's important. Now, obviously, some things you can't do. You can't be videotaping everything, but we learn from that. We move forward,
You having fun now?
Yeah, I'm definitely having fun, but I really only have fun when I win, just being honest. I mean, I'm here to win, and if I'm not winning, it's not that I'm not having fun, but as Coach Saban would say, I hate losing more than I like winning.
This may be dumb, but what is it like to literally push a guy backwards the way you did to Kenyon Green, and how were you kind of able to do that?
I think it's just technique. Coach Jim Tomsula, my first year, taught me the hump move, and it's something I've been able to cultivate. And going into year 6, I feel like I have a good grasp on it. And him being a rookie, he probably hasn't seen a move like that. And, it was bad timing for him, good timing for me, and just really going out there and executing,
And as a defense, where do you feel like you guys started to turn a corner early on? Like, was there a game or kind of Ron said the Philadelphia game?
I don't know if there's one game in particular. I think when we just started playing loose, with younger guys, it's common to see them not want to make a mistake, and that's a good thing. But you can't go out there and focus on not making mistakes because you're going to make mistakes. You really got to focus on playing hard and playing fast. I like to think, and I don't know the numbers, but the best defenses miss a lot of tackles, but they swarm so much that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? When you're running full speed, you're going to miss tackles, but when you have 11 guys doing it, it makes up for it. So mistakes are going to happen as a defense. You just have to have all guys playing with tremendous effort and flying to the ball.
I know you don't care what others' perception of the defense is, but when you're out on the field, do you notice that offenses view you guys as a consistent threat, as one of the league's better defenses?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But, as a defensive line, it's our job to make sure our linebackers and DBs have the easiest job possible. So our job is to be disruptive. If we can get to the quarterback, great. If not, we're going to force chips. We're going to make plays in the backfield, and we're just going to be disruptive. And as long as the defense is having success, that's all that matters.
And the play of a lot of the younger DBs like Derek Forrest coming up with these picks, how much does that help you guys? How much does the coverage and rush play off each other in game?
Without coverage, you will never get a sack. And without pressure, it's very hard to play defensive back. So it really goes hand in hand, and that's including the linebackers. So, like, when I get a sack, I think you can look at 10 other guys on the field who are making it possible for me to make that play. And, so that's why I try not to base my performance based off of sacks, because you can have the worst game of your career technique-wise and get 2 sacks, or you can play the best game of your career and get no sacks. It really is situational. So I just try to base my performance off of technique and how disruptive I am.
Possibly a dumb question. But with the way you guys are so cohesive and especially at the rush games, do you feel like you're able to dictate more to the offense and what you want to do?
I think so. Always, we have a saying that they have to block us. We don't have to beat them, and that's just the mindset you got to have. Their job is to stop us. We're going to beat them, and the onus is on them to stop us, and that's the mentality we have going in every game.
More, defense is the best. You were obviously here in 2020 when you guys had a big year on defense. Is this the best that you think you guys play?
Defensive line-wise or just defense?
Defense.
The best, it's hard to say because I feel like the best defenses are the most consistent. And we had a really good first half. Second half was not as good. We had a good game against Philadelphia, and then against the Vikings, we let too many drives down the field late in the game and we lost. So I think the best defenses are about consistency. When you look at the 2000 Ravens, I don't think they led a total of 1,000 yards throughout the entire season. And that's because they're consistently stopping the run. They're consistently doing the little things right. So you can't really look at one game and decide if we're being the best or not. You have to look at it as a season at the very end.
Your handshake with Payne, is that something that you guys have always, does that get updated over the years, or is that something you've always had as you play together?
Man, we just try to have fun. Football is a very tough game and it's very stressful, and people see it on Sundays, but they really don't see what goes into it Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. And if the average fan really saw what football was like, I think a lot would be turned off, because it's a nasty game, and it's physical and it's tough and it's emotionally draining. So when you have success, because it's very hard to make plays in the NFL, you got to enjoy one another. Especially, I don't know if Payne's going to be here. I don't know what his situation is. We're just trying to enjoy one another, play off each other, and, just have fun. I feel like too many times you get caught up in all the big stuff, but really just enjoy being around each other. When you talk to guys who aren't in the league no more, the biggest thing that they miss is the locker room. So I'm really trying to take that in and not, even though I know I'll miss it, I really try not to overlook the little things, and that's just having fun with the guys.
Is that something that you focusing on more this year?
I would say so. Yeah, I'll say so. And I think a lot of it has to do with the security of, having my contract. I can focus on just having fun a little bit more. Not saying that I'm not as focused, but I'm really just trying to enjoy the locker room we have. We have a great room, and I'm really, really blessed and excited to be able to play with them, because they make my job so much easier.
Ron just told us